The dawn of civilization. Primitive. Dangerous. Exciting. The handwriting is on the wall. If the human race is ever going to amount to anything, it needs
the most civilized caveman I have ever seen.
Look who's come out of his cave.
Hey everyone, this is James from Cave Dweller Music. We have another episode with you today. We got Brendan as usual. And today we have Justin Vølus of Vargheist Records joining us. Hey, Justin, thank you for coming on the show.
What's up, man? I'll tell you about some stuff with the label. It started in 2018. Mainly started it to, create the opportunity myself instead of looking for a label. I've worked with Comatose Music. I was in Abhorrent Deformity. I was with Severed Records, Putrefying Cadaverment. But I wanted to, do my own thing, and glad I did.
Nice.
And
what pushed you along to want to do your own thing?
I do a lot of hybrid genres. I don't do like your straight, cookie cutter stuff like just straight death metal or straight black metal. I'm always doing like a combination. I don't think that really like sits well with a lot of labels. I've noticed that.
It's just like tougher to sell.
Yeah. Well, in some ways, yes. In some ways, no. You got black and death metal, which in my opinion, that's a good genre.
That's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
It's like
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry, man. There's just there's like two different types of labels out there. There's like the broad spectrum scattershot where they kind of put out a bit of everything, and then there's like really genre focused, which I like to call tastemaker labels. It's like they focus on a specific genre and like this is their sound, and they find bands that are kind of like underappreciated and put that out there for people to find. And I kind of think that's what Vargas is a little bit.
Yeah. I focus mainly on your hybrid death metal genres like black and death metal, death grind, even as far as you could say like war metal. I've put out some war metal stuff, which it's like a black and death metal, noise, grind, all that thrown in the blender.
Yeah, primitive
fusion,
primitive extreme metal.
Yeah.
So how many bands, I mean, you might not know off the top of your head, but I'm sure you might as well. How many releases are you at now with the label?
I got to count. Forgot.
Sorry to put you on the spot.
Technically I have put out 36.
Wow.
But there are, technically it's about 40, but 3 or 4 of them are not on the internet, if that makes any sense.
Gotcha. How many of those are you involved with? Like,
I got to count. Let's see. I can go on the Metal Archives. I'm getting as bad as Jared Moran.
Nah, he's in like 64 active projects. You're not quite there.
Yeah,
right.
I'm not quite as bad, but I'm forgetting. Okay, so it started with Vølus, with Vermin Speak demo. So that's one. Let's say about 12 or 13, give or take.
Nice.
So that's like half the label, pretty much.
And then 4 of those releases you put out in the last year, you and I worked together on. Which, for anyone who doesn't actually know, I actually work with Justin a lot to do PR stuff for Vargheist with my Cave Dweller production stuff, which has been pretty sweet to get to work on those awesome album releases.
Yeah, it's been a really big help.
That's awesome.
We got the next one coming out. Do you want to tell us a little bit about what's coming up now? The new release you announced?
Yeah, Imperathron, Mors Est Veritas. I believe that's how you say it.
I think so.
They're from Chile, Santiago, Chile, and
nice.
They're black and death metal, and up my alley completely. I got really excited when I talked to them. They're not very well known, but But they have worked with another label before for their demo. It was called Mercy for the Despicable.
Nice. And when does that come out?
August 27th.
Awesome. And you said pre-orders are up now, right?
Yep. It's
Sweet.
on CD. Yep.
Fantastic. And then for anyone who doesn't know, I mean, anyone who follows us, you would be familiar with the work of Jared Moran and Nicholas Turner. So if anyone doesn't know, Justin is in multiple projects with both of those musicians.
Yeah, amazing musicians, each of them too.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
Nick is.
sorry.
Oh, it's okay. I had to say it. Nick is a beast. Like, he lit a fire under my ass. I always tell him that.
Yeah, I was about to say is, like, yeah, all the different styles he's got, with like Feral Lord or like Slog and stuff like that, like, and it's just like you could tell that's him with like he's just got this like tone and style, like you just know it's like Nicholas Turner.
Yeah. Like, he's got like this sort of like flash to him that you just know it's Nick. Like when you hear it, like his leads.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's always that like kind of wild riff that just spirals out. You know what I mean? It's like that kind of chaotic riff that explodes out of it. And it's like, oh yeah, that's Nick.
Yep.
And then Jared, like the dude's drumming is so distinctive as well. It's like, oh, as soon as I hear a project with him, like, that's Jared. He hits it so hard, dude. He hits the drums so hard.
Yeah. It's fast. It's like he plays complicated riffs incredibly fast.
Yeah.
You're just like, what? I mean, I can imagine like what that dude would do if he had like 20 drums in front of him and like 30 cymbals, like I bet you it'd be insane.
Yeah, I remember some dude challenged him online, being like, you can't actually play that. This is like triggers or something. And then he posted a video being like, watch me. So it's like people will actually struggle to believe sometimes that he actually plays that fast.
Yeah.
Right. I mean,
and he does. Mm-hmm. Go ahead. Like he doesn't use triggers. Yeah. And that drives people crazy. He uses that old death metal trick. I think Cannibal Corpse did it where there was like the quarter on the kick drum or whatever. It gives it kind of that clicky noise.
Yeah. Yep. And then people sometimes like get really butthurt about the fact that they don't do anything with their snare. Because like, why does the snare sound like that? I'm like, that's what it should sound like. Like a causal intrusion got like, I remember the comment section on YouTube when they uploaded that, and people were like, 50% of people absolutely loved it, and the other half were like, I hate this.
Yeah.
I think it's great. I like it. It makes it sound, it's like it's a unique sound. It's different. I personally really liked it.
Yeah. It's weird that too. They like Bandcamp took it off, but like you can find it on. Yeah, it's dumb. That was some dumb shit. Like,
see, I preached to Nick and Jared. I said, "This is why you need to use something like DistroKid. You have it everywhere. Then they can't take it down. They can't take it down at all. But hell, that wasn't up to them. That was Void Hanger. But
yeah,
I was genuinely like excited for them for working with.
You can still find it on Void Hanger's list, can't you, or no?
No, I think it's off Bandcamp completely. I'm pretty sure.
Let's see.
And there was no reasoning behind it. It just got reported for some reason and taken down. But like, I can't think of a single reason why.
Yeah, it's not on here.
It's still on Spotify, I believe.
It's on. Also, it's on Tidal. I have it.
That's on Tidal, Spotify, and YouTube, I believe.
Oh yeah, dude. I wonder why. Yeah.
It got reported, but I think someone making assumptions about things. Who knows?
As I say, I have the vinyl, and it's like a bunch of like just the same. It's on brand with everything on Void Hanger. It's
okay. Yeah. Well, I guess
creepy, weird shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. See, I thought maybe they didn't have it on everything, but they did. So that's good.
Well, Void Hanger pushed it. I think Void Hanger pushed it out. I don't know if it was always. I don't know if it was always on there, but I think maybe once it got taken off Bandcamp, it got pushed everywhere else. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, there's some weird shit everywhere. Like,
yeah, but since Bandcamp got bought out, a bunch of people's stuff has been taken down.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, didn't that happen to Dragged Into Sunlight?
I think so. Yeah, I think a bunch of bands had stuff removed, just stuff that people found offensive for whatever personal reason and reported.
The big one was Death Spell. I remember when that happened.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that one I don't. People have that at least has a more clear cut reason why people reported it. Because of the personal beliefs of the singer. But I can't think of any reason for causal. There's no controversy around them.
Yeah.
But I don't want to get too much into bitching about Bandcamp because
I like Bandcamp. Oh
yeah, I like Bandcamp, and it's like it makes me sad that happened to it, but it is what it is. So Justin, let's kick it back a little further and ask you some questions about your influences and inspirations. Who would you say kind of got you into metal music? Like what bands really kind of converted you?
So when I was a kid, see my parents were big metalheads. My dad, he loved like, Slayer and stuff like that back in the 80s. Mm-hmm. And I actually remember going to Best Buy when they still had CDs. I don't know if they still do. I don't know. I don't go in there, but I went there and you could buy metal albums back then. And I bought I would slowly save up my allowance to buy every Slayer album in their discography. And I remember doing that with I'm not a big fan of Metallica anymore, but I did that with their 80s albums also. Mm-hmm. And then how it goes. It starts to, it's like taking the medication. The dosage starts to wear off. You need to get something heavier. Yeah. Then I started going towards darker stuff. The band that got me into death metal was Bloodbath.
Nice.
I found them when I was 14. Nightmares is Made Flesh or whatever.
Yes, that's a great album. That has Eden, right?
I thought that was
Nightmares Made Flesh? Yeah, I think it's that one.
Let's see. My memory is shit right now for some reason.
I think it's the one from the vocalist from Hypocrisy, right? And then it's got Nightmare, it's got Eden and Cancer of the Soul. Those are two of the catchiest songs that Bloodbath ever put out.
Yeah. When you say Eden, I thought you meant somebody's name for a a second.
Oh, sorry, it's the accent.
Yeah, it's not like you said Ian.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Peter doing vocals, and that was in my opinion, I love Hypocrisy, but I feel like Peter's best vocal performance was in Bloodbath.
I feel like every artist that does vocals for Bloodbath, that's the case. It's crazy. Michael Ackerfeld's best performance was also Bloodbath. Anyone that steps into that band just elevates.
Yeah, this is true. I'm actually a really big fan of old Opeth though, so I slightly disagree. I think Blackwater Park. I mean, that's
okay. I do love that too. Yeah,
that's got to be his best vocal performance because, doing all the death metal vocals and then singing on top of that, and then doing guitar. It's pretty insane.
Yeah, it's that and Deliverance. Deliverance is fantastic on Deliverance too.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm really bummed out at their career shift because, personally, I love prog rock, but I find their prog rock boring. Which I didn't, it's sad to say because they're such a talented band, and they're just that creative genius that they had with the metal stuff. They kind of lost it when they shifted genres.
Yeah, they lost that flair to them.
Yeah, exactly. It's not exciting anymore. Opeth, the early stuff was every album, what are they going to do on this album? What's it going to sound? You never really knew what they were going to throw at you, type thing.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, even Damnation, the fully clean vocal one. That was a fantastic album. That was like excellent.
Oh yeah. Yeah, like that's probably where my love for, like the hybrid sounds come from, because I listened to Opeth and stuff like that when I was a teenager. And it's just boring to, do what everybody else is doing. Like stick to one sound. That's all you can do. If you put down rules for yourself, then that's just kind of defeating the purpose of, making music. You want to be innovative. So
Right.
Yeah, it's like there's a whole thing. It's like it's tough though, because metal fans are really fickle. So it's hard for sometimes, like a band changes sounds trying to progress, and their fans just shit on them. And then sometimes they change.
Sound like the same thing.
Exactly. It's like you can't ever really please everyone. You know what I mean? It's like you either progress and lose some fans and gain new ones, or you stay the same and just keep the same fan base.
I would want to do the same thing over and over again, though, if I was a musician, like, because you've already done that, so you got to progress.
I thoroughly expected that when I released the new Volus album. I thought I was expecting this to happen. It didn't really happen though, but I mean, I did have people like say, oh, this is not as dissonant or something like that. And I'm like,
right.
What?
Well, I mean, it wasn't, but I think that what you replaced, I think that the diversity you brought to the album was, I liked it. It's my favorite work of yours so far, because I think it's the most technically complex and it has the most advanced songwriting.
You did everything on that, right?
Yep.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Thanks, man.
When did you start learning to play multiple instruments?
So when I was a teenager, like my first actual instrument, my first attempt at music period was actually bass. And then I kind of got aggravated with it and I stopped doing it. And then like that following year, I started doing vocals, and vocals has always been like my main thing. I've been doing it the longest, the most consistent. And then I picked up guitar again back in 2016 or something like that. So in my opinion, I've only really been seriously doing instruments since 2018. So it's just, I guess it's just like a necessity for me to play instruments. I don't know. And then like just that drive to figure it out, I guess. But I think a lot of people hit a brick wall with learning instruments because they go on the internet and they try to cover any song, but they don't realize that song, you're not really going to cover that song because you don't have the exact same gear. You don't have your guitar set up the same way. So people get frustrated with trying to copy, like when they do the cover, you gotta realize you're never going to actually match that tone. It's never going to sound the same. So people get aggravated and stop playing because of that. But that's why, like, instead of like learning other people's songs, I just went straight into songwriting with guitar. And I mean, I know how to cover like some light metal songs. And I guess that's why, like, on guitar, my forte is like, it's like black metal, black and death metal, because I can't write a song with a tremolo riff. It's gotta have it. That's my thing, man. Yeah. I did that, and then what really kicked it off for me though was when I was doing bass for Morgue Walker and doing vocals, and then I did the bass for Putrefying Cadaverment. And then
was Morgue Walker the one that became Flesh Configuration?
No, Putrefying Cadaverment became.
That's what sorry about that. I couldn't remember which one it was.
Yeah, technically Putrefying, we split that. It wasn't really like a name change. Psionic Madness was Morgue Walker. That was an actual name
Okay.
change because the
Okay.
whole lineup was pretty much the same, but Putrefine wasn't the same lineup. It was just
Okay.
me and Blake that were the same people.
Right.
Yeah.
Sorry, didn't mean to derail you there.
Oh no, you're fine. I mean, that's why we're doing this. Shit, I lost my train of thought. But yeah, with the instrument thing, I
You were
used
playing bass, and you were talking about bass. Yeah.
I used session drummers for a while with Vølus. Well, actually,
Yeah.
it's just two session drummers. And then I ended up just programming on the last one. I guess it was kind of like I want to see if I can actually pull it off. So
Nice.
but I've got the drums where they sound very realistic. That way it's not like such a ear sore, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. It's just like, wait, that's not real. Is that a kit?
I tried to make it to where it was like within reality, not like something like Infinite Annihilator or something, like where it's just like stupid ass fucking drums that just don't make any sense. Like there's no way you can play that real well.
Well, I mean, Infinite Annihilator in general as a band is stupid. Like it's fun as hell, but it's really dumb.
Yeah.
Which is honestly, like, in my opinion, kind of disappointing because I mean, I don't hate all of deathcore, but I'm disappointed with its direction, because like in the 2000s, like when it was like super raw and didn't give a fuck, it was almost like borderline death grind in a way, how I see it. Just something happened, I guess, like the biggest bands in the genre decided, let's go pop music pretty much. And damn, what was I saying? Lost my train of thought.
Yeah, with like deathcore, man. I always I love some good deathcore, but like for me, James and I think don't see eye to eye on this one, but the piggy squeals, man. I can't stand it. I'm just like, oh, why are you doing that?
No, I'll clarify. I hate it in deathcore, but I love it in slam. Because I love slam.
I'd be all about some slam, but then I'm just like, why did you do that? Like, shit, man.
Because the whole point of slam is to be like as dumb and primitive and knuckle dragging as possible. That's why I love it. It's just like it's such a stupid genre that it makes me so happy.
Hey, now I remember what I was saying. So the reason why Infinite Annihilator, the reason why I think Infinite Annihilator is like disappointing is because they do Black Tongue, and I actually like Black Tongue for what it is. I mean, me and Jared actually have the same opinion. You wouldn't think Jared, wouldn't like that, but it's actually not bad. I don't think they're kind of in their own. They're in their own league. I feel like, to be honest, they're like that. They're like the release,
year, right? They put out that.
They did Falsifier, right, back in the day.
Yeah, they're like newer stuff's like way better than that. But I'm not saying I'm a Black Tongue fanboy. I barely listen to them, but if I was forced to listen to deathcore right now, I'd have to pick them, to be honest.
I've never really listened to them. I actually have to go check that out.
They're not bad.
Yeah.
But they did spawn a lot of really bad bands from that. It's kind of like Meshuggah existing and then Gent.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. But like Meshuggah, the funny thing is that Meshuggah like distanced himself from Gent. Like, yeah, no, we're not that.
Yeah. Didn't they put out like this album that was just straight up like raw? It was like in the studio or something like that.
Meshuggah?
Yeah, recently.
Yeah, they did a new. I haven't listened to it yet, but I think they just did a new one, right? Like 3 months ago or something.
Something like that. Dude, I'm so behind sometimes. Like this is bad, guys. Like I I get all these submissions and stuff and I'm writing my own music and I'll get stuck on like maybe 3 or 4 albums from like a couple years ago. Like I just get stuck on them. Like I listen to them a lot. Like recently I just been listening to that fucking Last Mayhem album that came out.
Yeah, do you like that one?
Yeah, I like it a lot.
Yeah, me too. Everything they've done since he's the vocalist has been, in my opinion, their best work. He is like god tier vocalist, in my opinion,
Yeah,
for black metal.
yeah. We talked about this.
Yeah.
Esoteric. That album.
Yeah, it's a masterpiece, dude. That's one of my favorite black metal albums ever. I think there's nothing else that's quite the same as that. It's very special.
Yeah, dude. Like, it's funny because I think it was like 2013 or 14. That was about like when I was 18 or 19, I think. Like I liked black metal back when I was a teenager, but like I felt like it wasn't like the best. It wasn't as good as death metal for me. Like it just didn't have that, like, get that itch for me. But then I started listening to Mayhem, and then like I started finding like some black and death metal stuff, and then that was just like, holy shit, this is awesome.
Well, they're actually one of the first bands that got me into black metal, proper black metal too. It's that album Chimera. That was like the first like proper true black metal album I really fell in love with.
Yeah. Oh, and then I remember finding Emperor for the first time. That was awesome.
Yeah. I mean, I should say, like, the first black metal album I really bought was like In Sorte Diaboli by Dimmu Borgir, but that's, it's like, it's black metal, but it's not like traditional second wave, like, black metal. Yeah. I still stand by that In Sorte Diaboli is a solid album. I like it for what it is.
Yeah, like, it was funny, dude. I remember recently I was talking to this guy and he was just like, I like old Demo, but he's like, I've never been a fan of Cradle of Filth. And I was like, yeah, Cradle of Filth is Hot Topic black metal.
Danny Filth would love that. No, I know what you mean. The thing I would say about them is that they're like a gateway band. If someone's like not into black metal, you can be like, yeah, check this out. You'll probably find it like palatable. You know what I mean? Like, it's black metal light.
This is true. They just kind of remind me of, like, I don't know, like this spooky Halloween metal that you listen to.
Yeah,
like
it's like,
like
exactly.
They're not really black metal.
No, they're not.
They know they're not black metal though. They call themselves gothic metal. So I think that fits for them.
I think so too. They, like, a lot of their music has that super gothic feel to it.
Yeah,
and he's got the whole aesthetic going as well.
So yeah, it's weird. It's like I've never been a big fan of like that synthy, like super synthy, like black metal like that, like Demo, and it has to be like very tasteful. And it's funny because on this Volus album, people thought that was synth, but no, it was just a lot of reverb on the guitars.
So you mean like symphonic black metal?
Yeah, not really a big fan.
I'm picky with it. Like, I like a couple of bands that do it, but I struggle with some of them. Like, I think Karak Angren's one of the best ones that do it because they do it tastefully with like a full orchestra and they make it very dramatic. Like, they're kind of like the black metal equivalent of Septic Flesh.
Oh no, I'm gonna rip you for this one, Jay.
You don't like Septic Flesh?
No, I'm talking about Karak Angren.
Oh, you don't like Karak Angren?
No.
I like them for what they are. I think you have to approach them as like, okay, the way that I view them is like the black metal equivalent of King Diamond. They're like a dramatic storytelling, over the top kind of, you know what I mean? It's like it's meant to be
Yeah.
kind of camp, like because King Diamond's
It
like
is campy. It is campy.
King Diamond's super campy, like, and that's what I love about it. It's just like he doesn't give a shit. He's like, I'm gonna make this like really cheesy horror music soundtrack, and you're gonna love it. Like, yeah, I know. If you that's how I approach them with that from that viewpoint, and I think if you look at them like that, it's kind of you can kind of think about it differently. But if you look at it like straight as like black metal, it's hard to take seriously.
Hey, listen to this though. We're both gonna get our metal cards revoked because I said go listen to Black Tongue, and you said I like Car Congren. Poser alert! Poser alert! But no, man. I listened a little bit of them like when they first came out, and I thought it was good. But I think what I started to dismiss them was when they put out a band shirt. On the back of it, it literally said, "Get the fuck out of my woods, bitch." I was like, "What?" Or something like that.
I remember that.
I was just like, "What? What?"
That was they did like a German fairy tale album. It was a black metal version of Hansel and Gretel, and that's what that was from. That was not their best work. I'll say that. Their best work, though, they did three really cool concept albums. One was the story of this haunted castle from the Middle Ages, which was really cool. The next one was story of like a Dutch merchant ship with a captain that got cursed. And then the third one's my favorite, but a lot of people say it's the shittest one. I love it. Is about soldiers committing suicide in World War II.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah, that's my favorite one. But you're right. I'm probably going to get my metal card revoked.
No soup for you.
Okay, let's talk about how much we love Five Finger Death Punch next time. Your next level.
That deathcore. I was gonna say there was that band Sacrificing Ellen. I was trying to find their album there without typing it in, but the band's pretty cool for deathcore.
I haven't even heard of them.
Sacrificing Ellen DeGeneres.
Yo, list. Here we go.
To be fair, like parody celebrity bands are pretty funny. Do you remember what that band? It was the guy from. There's a metalcore. Who was a metalcore band? Who the guy tried to have his wife murdered with a hitman? Was it
As I Lay Dying?
As I Lay Dying.
Oh yeah.
They did a side project that was completely Arnold Schwarzenegger themed.
Oh yeah, was it like Austrian Death Machine or something?
Yeah, that's the one. And like the whole album was full of like outtakes from his movies, like sound bites and stuff.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Unbelievably stupid, but they're funny. You know what's funny about that dude from As I Lay Dying? He's like a life coach / motivational speaker now. I'm like, I don't think you're the person people should go to for like life advice.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe that's just that Christian evangelist thing or whatever.
Does he still have like credibility with them after trying to murder his wife? Though it's like, are they cool with that? It's like, it was a one-time thing. He's fine.
I think maybe like the original two dudes that made the band were trying to maybe like he was trying to hold on until he could like try and maybe work out a deal to buy the rights to the band or something. Maybe I don't know. Like to me, I think maybe it's like a business thing to try and keep the peace until we can friggin' part ways. I don't know.
All right, let's talk something controversial right now. Pantera reunion tour. Thoughts?
Uh-oh.
Gonna get people mad.
I've always had a unpopular opinion about Pantera. I've never really digged them.
I will say
they've got a cool, like some good riffs and whatnot. But this snap, I'll tell you, it's not something. It's like I'm never gonna go like put it on purpose.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same with that. Like I definitely appreciate Dimebag Darrell's songwriting ability and his guitar. Like he wrote some of the catchiest riffs I've ever heard. But yeah, as a whole, as a band, like they don't do a huge amount for me because it's all kind of the same stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I have a sort of an opposite opinion.
Okay.
So,
But they're a Southern metal band, though. So
it's not even that. Okay, so I have I have mad respect for Anselmo, and I'll give you my reasonings.
Okay.
It's not for Pantera.
Mhm.
It's because of all the side bands that he's in.
Yes, I will agree with you there. Down is fantastic.
yeah,
And what was
Burn
that other
Needs Smoke.
There was that other one he did that was like super aggressive. It was like crossover. What's it called?
I think my favorite one that he's in is Scour. He's actually in the Scour is it's black. It's got black metal elements, grindcore, punk, and thrash.
I actually haven't heard that one. I've never heard of them. To check that out.
He's actually that band actually has the old bassist from Cattle Capitation in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's pretty sick. Reason I have respect for him is he's always had a respect for the underground. Like he never forgot about the underground. He's not one of them like guys that got like super huge, and just just so full of themselves. I've never met him though, so I don't know. I don't know if he's a cool dude or not. But
right,
you can see the what he's done
The
with
effort.
all these other, and he was in Necrophagia.
Yes, he was for like 3 years, right?
Yeah, he was. He used the alias Anton Crowley when he played on that Holocausto de la Mort album.
Yes, love that album. Necrophagia is one of my favorite death metal bands. It's super underappreciated, honestly. Like they deserve so much more recognition.
I've actually hung out with Killjoy before he died.
That was such a loss, dude. I was so upset when that happened.
I did sound for them at Ground Zero in Spartanburg, South Carolina.
That's awesome. What was he like? Was he a good dude?
He was cool as fuck, dude. I remember I was done wrapping up the show. This was a fucking killer lineup, by the way. I did sound for it was fucking Venom and Necrophagia. And I think Destroyer 666 was there too.
Ah, the Aussie guys.
And it was crazy, dude. It was a good ass show. It wasn't technically Venom, it was like Venom Inc., but
But reformed band.
But it still humbled me. I mean, it was like, holy fuck, dude. It's just some fucking legends, So
yeah.
I remember I was done wrapping everything up, and I was sweeping the floor or something, and I have a Kurt Barlow tattoo on the back of my left arm, and he saw it, and he was like, holy shit, dude. And he had a Kurt Barlow tattoo too. But awesome. His wasn't as like custom and badass looking. It was just like something he probably got from back in the 80s or something. Like it looked, it looked like one of them little small tattoos or whatever. But I mean, it was cool, dude. Like I was like, oh shit. And he talked to me for a while. I mean, so I was kind of like, what the fuck when he died. So
that was so sudden. It came out of nowhere. Like I didn't expect it. And like the thing is, like their last album that they did was, did you like it? Because I absolutely loved the last album they did.
Oh yeah,
the White Worm Cathedral.
Yeah, Angel Blake. I was playing the fuck out of.
Yes, and the Exorcist one. The one that's Exorcist themed. Was it called Kill the Priest? I think.
I can't remember.
Brendan, have you listened to those guys?
I believe so.
Yeah, if you haven't, you got to get into them. Also, Harvest Ritual Volume 1 was one of the heaviest albums. Like the down tuning in that, like the guitar tone was absolutely crushing on that album. The one that had like Dead Skin Slave, Unearthed, Cadavera X, Return to Texas.
Well, see, I'm just going to go back to what I was saying about Phil, though. I got mad respect for him because, he's been, he's done all these projects, and Like I'm on the same fence. I'm on the same fence. I mean, I like Cowboys from Hell and shit like that, but like I don't go out of my way to listen to Pantera, and I won't be at the reunion stuff that they do. But if they want to do a reunion, fuck it, who cares?
Yeah, let them do it.
Let
The people
them
that
make,
want to see it will see it, and that's what's important, right?
yeah, let them make some money. I mean,
Yeah,
fuck it.
if you're one of those fans that's like, it's not going to be the real Pantera, then just don't go.
Yeah,
Right, exactly. It's like the shit on the internet. Like if you don't like it, then don't look at it. Like
yeah,
They're going to have apparently Zach Wilde on guitar as well.
yeah.
yeah. I mean, there'd be talented people on there, and I think it will ultimately be fun for the people that go.
From what I heard, Zach Wilde and Dimebag were good friends.
Yeah.
So it's almost like,
it's a tribute.
yeah.
Yeah, I think that's why they. Well, I mean, that's what
man,
Phil kind
I
of. Phil kind of said that it's meant to be more of a tribute than a reunion type thing.
Like a comeback. I could see why.
Right.
I could see people being mad if they started releasing new music. I mean,
yeah, this is not going to be. It's not the same because it was like it was the brothers band. They made Pantera and like
Right.
If they try and resurrect it, it's kind of trashing their memory a little bit. But yeah, I think like a tribute thing is different. I can see why people would say it's a cash grab. It might be a cash grab, but it is what it is. It's a music industry. It's an industry.
yeah, it could be. It could be classified as a cash grab, but hell,
Well, it's like Rage Against the Machines was an absolutely massive cash grab. You see what they were charging for tickets to their reunion tour?
yeah.
Like
I
absolutely
don't even want to
insane.
know. It's probably like the cost to go see Tool. Like,
Oh, dude, this Tool prices are disgusting. It's like the shittest seats in the house, like $100 or something. It's like, and that's for like at the back of the room behind a pole or something. Like,
right.
But what I'll say about Anselmo is, if he didn't have ties to death metal and black metal like he does, like supporting underground, then yeah, I'd just be like, whatever, about him. So but he supports the fuck out of it. So
that's how I felt about
yeah.
Trevor Strand from Black Dahlia. Like, whether you like Black Dahlia or not, the dude was an absolute champion of underground music. Like,
Yeah.
he used to write blog posts and stuff of bands that he liked that had like a couple of hundred followers and put them in magazines and stuff. And like, he'd pick random no-name bands to support and tour with him. And yeah, he was like just obsessed with like promoting underground music, which was awesome. So he was a huge loss for the scene, really.
Yeah. See, I've never I remember when I was a teenager, like in high school, I liked Black Dahlia, like their original lineup, like Death Flow Rate and shit like that. When they had, they had their original bassist, they had their that second guy that was on guitar that did the solos back then. I can't remember what his name is. And then they had Shannon Lucas on drums, like that. I don't think Shannon was original drummer, but he was like one of the most prominent ones in that band. But they were sick back then. I remember I stopped listening to them about the time Everblack came out.
Everblack. Which one was that one?
Everblack's. I just I don't know. It's like, I don't know. I just moved on to other shit.
Exactly the same as me, actually. The last album I listened to of theirs was Ritual, and that had some pretty killer songs on it. And then everything after that, I never really got into as much.
So basically, the last album that I actually liked from was Death Flow Rate.
They had some good songs.
Heavy.
Nocturnal was a fantastic album in my opinion. That had some killer tracks on it.
It's funny because about the same time I was listening to that album, Death Flow Rate, I was listening to Arsis at the same time, which is kind of funny because the dude from Arsis went to Black Dahlia. I think on that Ritual. No, not Ritual. Is it Ritual? The Green album?
Yeah, that's Ritual. That's the one that has. That's the one.
Okay, yeah.
I stopped listening to Arsis in 2013 as well. With Unwelcome was the last Arsis album I listened to.
Yeah, Trevor was like, Killjoy Dawn. It was like, what the fuck? This is weird. You
I know.
wouldn't think it was so out of the blue, dude.
Yeah, because he always seemed like the most outgoing, happy, chill, fun-loving dude. But I guess he had a lot of mental health issues, and it's like that's the thing. You just never really know with people.
Yeah, man, shit's heavy, and sometimes it's too heavy. They don't reach out. Whatever happens, it sucks.
Yeah. Yeah. It does suck. Well,
okay, I want to give you a chance as well. Oh, sorry, didn't mean to cut you off. What were you saying?
You guys are awesome for doing that mental health compilation.
Oh, thanks, man.
Yeah.
It's it means a lot to both of us, like to all of us. We all have our own struggles with it, and we've all lost people to it. So, it's one of those things that everyone should really do whatever they can to support.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm all for.
The very at least, get people avenues to help, even if they're not listening to our music, but they see it and they understand the message, so.
Yeah,
it's the stigma as well. It's like you got to get rid of that stigma, especially in the metal community. There's that whole, macho. I don't want to talk about feelings and stuff, and but if you're feeling that low, you really need to talk to someone. There's nothing wrong with that. It's not weakness, which is it's a stigma I'd love to help remove. But that's a long battle. It's going to take time.
Hey, you know how good of friends me and Jared are.
Mm-hmm.
I remember one time I was telling him I was depressed, and he said, "Go ahead and noose up." It's like, motherfucker.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing.
That's Jared. That's Jared for you.
Yep.
I was just like, "Fuck you, Jared," and then he'd just be like, and then he'd stop joking and he'd be like, "All right, what's going on?" And then he's a good dude, but it's fucking funny. He says that shit. He'll say that shit. Just go ahead and noose up. I'm just like, shut up.
Damn. That's not what dude.
I wanted to make sure that you had a minute or two, because I know how much you love it, to talk about Warhammer on this episode. So do you want to tell us the meaning behind the Vargas name?
Okay, so Vargas comes from a unit that you can play basically in Warhammer Fantasy from the Vampire Counts. It's they're Vargheist. They're like vampires that have forsaken blood. Basically, they turn into like a monstrosity. It kind of reminds me of I don't know if y'all have ever seen that movie Daybreakers.
Yes. Yep. That's a great movie.
It's like, you go without blood, you start turning into like a monster.
To a beast.
Yeah. So that blood keeps you from, turning into that. But yeah, I thought that it represented it. And plus, I'm a big fan of Total War Warhammer games, so I love fucking using that. I fucking love using Vargas.
Are you playing on a computer or like actual physical games?
I don't do tabletop. It's expensive.
Yeah,
it is.
It looks like fun though.
Oh,
it does. It's like, but I feel like it's one of those hobbies that's all consuming. Like once you start, you can't stop buying them, and it becomes like an addiction.
It's funny because people talk shit about how many DLCs Total Warhammer games have, and it's like, we'll go play on tabletop and see how much money you're about to sink in.
Right. I love the DLCs though, because it keeps it interesting.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, here's a new faction, here's some new units, here's a new map to play on. It's awesome, dude.
What are you playing on?
PC.
PC. That's the only way you can get it.
Yeah. Do you play them, Brendan? I've got them as well. Great games.
I don't have a PC to play. I just play Xbox, but
right.
Yeah, you play on the sex box.
Yeah. So I think they have Warhammer on there. I gotta check it out. I feel like there's something like that.
You're probably thinking of like that Vermintide.
Possibly. I don't know.
Because this is Warhammer Total War is the PC. There's two.
Yeah.
There's two. I think there's a third one coming out, isn't there? Second.
It's already out.
Oh, it is. Okay,
Yeah.
I don't have that one. I have to get that.
I wouldn't get it yet. it's got
No?
mixed reviews. We're still trying to work on some things.
When did it come? Is it pretty new?
Yeah, I wouldn't get it. I wouldn't get it till they put that Mortal Empire shit out. You know,
the campaign, Mortal Empire campaign. Right.
But
it's got 6 out of 10.
Yeah,
that is a shame.
They rushed it.
Who's is it same factions as the second one, or is it new teams?
New factions.
New. Huh. Right, I'm gonna have to look after this podcast because I'm now curious. Oh, that's got space dwarves. Okay, sorry. I'll stop talking about it.
I like 40. I like 40K also though. 40K.
Yeah, me too.
I'm not as like educated on 40K as I am on fantasy.
I would play the shit out of a Total War 40K game though if they made that.
They got a shit ton of them.
That would be like a Total War 40K one.
Oh yeah.
That would be sweet. Because I played those. I played the first. What was it? Warhammer 40K, the original strategy one, and then the second one. I didn't like the second one nearly as much as the first one, but they were both good.
Hey Brendan, if you got some extra cash, you should try that Necromunda hired gun on Xbox. That's Warhammer 40K. It's a first-person shooter.
Did you ever play Fire
I'm
Warrior
writing
back
that
in the
down
day?
right now.
Wait, what?
Necro Hunter 100, you said?
No, Necromunda.
Oh, Necro.
Munda.
Justin, did you ever play Warhammer 40,000 Fire Warrior back in the day?
I don't think so.
It's on like PS2 and original Xbox.
Oh, let me look at this.
It was a first-person shooter, and you played as like a Tau Fire Warrior.
How?
Huh.
It was pretty sweet. And then like they made that third-person game, which I also have, which was what is it? Space Marine.
Oh yeah, that one was good.
That was fun.
Oh, so they do have one. What the fuck? I didn't know about this game.
If you can find
Fire
it,
Warrior.
you should play it. It's a great game. It has a 2.8 out of 5 review, but just ignore that.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh, okay. I see it.
You can get it for $5.99 on GOG.com.
Yeah, I see it. Oh.
So I don't mean to rush anything, but I have to drive up to LA very soon. So, Brendan, I know you have a couple of things you always like to chit chat about before we wrap up. Do you want to quickly launch into that?
Yeah. Let's see. Well, I guess, and out of all your bands and whatnot, what was your favorite city to play and eat at?
Austin, Texas.
For the music or the food, or both?
Both.
Nice.
I played at Dirty Dog, and there's a lot of venues on that 6th Street. A lot of venues.
You know that you're not like we've had multiple people tell us that Texas was their favorite place to play.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Fun. It's fun over there. It really is. It's just so much to do. Kind of wish I lived there, to be honest. It's a big state. Big state.
Righteous.
Righteous.
Righteous. Let's see here. What's so you have all these collaborations. If you could play with any music with someone alive or dead to make an album, who would you have on the roster?
Damn, that's a hard question. I'd probably steal the fucking drummer from Behemoth. I like him a lot. And maybe do like, oh hell, I could probably steal Joey Jordison from his grave too. I mean, he's fucking good.
Was.
He did that one album with Attila from Mayhem was involved. That one band. Joe Jordison was doing a death metal band, like a black death band, before he died.
I didn't know that. Interesting.
Yeah. And then man, I've always kind of wanted to do this, but it'd be cool if I could steal the dude from fucking Annihilator. Jeff,
That
Jeff,
speed metal band?
the thrash metal
Thrash
man.
band?
I guess they're speed metal. I don't know. That dude, that guy can fucking shred. He's got some killer solos. But there's so many guys I'd love to work with. Really great guitarists. Obviously, I take the vocal role because that's what it usually defaults to. Because I've always done vocals. Vølus was just something like, I want to do this. I want to see if I could do it.
Nice.
Oh,
Yeah.
pulled it off.
Thanks, man. Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
definitely.
Yeah, Jeff Waters. Jeff Waters he's fucking awesome on guitar.
And then, yeah, what's your least favorite city? Like, yeah, I'm never going back to that fucking town again, dude.
Jared's gonna give me some shit about this, but if I ever have to go back to any well, I won't say any city in Mississippi, but I think I played in Jackson maybe. That was bad.
What happened?
It's just shitty venue.
Uh,
Yeah. I remember there was a guy who looked like he was using like a Walmart board. It was like fucking $100 board. And he was slapping limiters on everything. So it just sounded like a little fuzzy like when something would. That was funny as fuck, dude. That was like some opener for us, and I think they were playing deathcore, and like a bass drop come in, and that limiter just like killed it. It just sounded like it just sounded like a fart. It was so funny. So I guess Jackson, Mississippi. Yeah, that was the one. Never been to Gulfport though, so I don't know. That's where Jared is.
And then
I just remember it being really. Oh, sorry.
Oh no! You remember what?
Go ahead.
I just remember it being really fucking humid there. That's why I didn't like it.
Yeah, I hate humidity, dude. I don't mind heat, but when it's like sticky and you just like, ugh.
You would absolutely hate where I lived in Australia. It was like 7:30 in the morning, and it would be like 93% humidity and around 100.
Yeah.
It was gross.
Yeah, you don't want that. I was like, what? Have you ever had like a crazy like moment where you had like something go wrong and you got to fix something on the fly? Like playing a show and then something just fucks up.
Well, this kind of goes back to like me doing sound, but I did sound for 2 years, so that was like live sound at a venue, and that was all improvised. I mean, it's so different from doing studio stuff because you're in a controlled environment, but like live, it's mics go out, all that shit. So when I did play live and something would happen, it didn't really affect me. We had I think we were playing Greensboro, North Carolina, and like guitarist's head died. That sucked, but I didn't like freak out. Unfortunately, we had to borrow somebody's, but we got through the show.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So did that happen mid-show or before the show?
I think like a little bit after our sound check. I think one of his tubes or whatever got fucked up.
Damn.
So I'm not going to say the band name, but this just literally just happened this week, so I kind of want to say it because it's funny. I was at a gig on last Sunday, and the vocalist of the band was trying to get, have, like sometimes go down to the audience to get amongst it type thing. And they tried to jump over the barricade in front of the stage, bounced off it and landed flat on their back on the ground in the middle of the mosh pit and went down like really hard. And then everyone kind of just like stepped back, kind of gasped, and then they got up and tried to like act like it didn't happen. But it was pretty funny.
Or they were all right, obviously, right?
I assume so. They carried on with the show, finished the show.
Oh, right.
Didn't get knocked out or anything, but they pancaked pretty hard.
Damn.
And then what was that? Sorry.
I remember you showing me that video of that guy that was like, you just like anticipated that he was gonna get fucked up or do
at MDF. Stupid. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was saying to Brendan,
really?
I was like, Brendan, watch this dude. Something's gonna happen to this dude.
Yeah, and I was glued.
he was heading for it, dude. He was so sloppy, and he was just in everyone's way, and he was barely standing. I was like, that dude's going down. And so I started filming him, and then like 30 seconds later, he just went down like out cold.
We saw him everywhere too. Like we met him like the second day. Well,
yeah, the first night we saw him, and we're like, dude, you were like an absolute. No, sorry, second night we're like, dude, you're an absolute mess last night. He's like, I don't remember last night. And then then the next that following night was the night I filmed him getting knocked out.
Yeah. I got a good one too of it. I got the whole set.
Yeah, it was an accident. Like it was very clear the guy who knocked him out was just kind of going hard, and him being so wasted, his face just happened to connect with the fist. But yeah, it was still pretty funny.
Who was playing?
It was Exhorter.
Yeah.
And they had what's his name from Cannibal Corpse on guitar as a surprise. The dude
talking about Pat. I
think it was Pat. Yeah, the dude who got the charges against him recently for owning the flamethrower and having human skulls and stuff.
I can't remember what happened.
Pat O'Brien. It was Pat O'Brien.
Yeah.
Pat O'Brien came out as guitarist, which is kind of cool.
Yeah. Fucking hilarious. Flamethrower.
Yeah, that was wild. It was like he was like going around with a flamethrower or something, and then they raided his house and found like a massive cache of guns and like human skulls and a bunch of weird stuff.
It's like that fucking game, Hatred or whatever. Y'all seen that? The guy with the trench coat. He was he's like everyone deserves to die. Like, damn. Been playing as fucking Trevor in GTA 5 too much.
He's the best character GTA ever wrote. I mean, like I love Trevor. Trevor is fantastic.
Yeah, I like that when you like randomly pick him, like it would switch to his character, and he'd wake up in the field with his tidy whities on.
Yeah. Him and cousin Nico from which game was he in? They're like the two favorite characters in GTA. It's the one where your cousin keeps calling you and asking if you want to go bowling.
Yeah.
It's like I just found that hilarious. Like, dude, this guy really likes bowling. Like the whole game.
Yeah, you have to like keep up with everybody, otherwise, like, it just sucks.
Yeah,
it keeps happening.
Brendan, you got any more of those questions, or we?
No, we can wrap it up.
Hey, before you wrap it up, I want to know. Y'all tell me this. How was MDF? Just explain it to me. I want to hear.
Dude, it was honestly by far the best festival I've ever been to by like a long shot. Energy was just phenomenal. All the lineup was crazy. It was like so many legendary bands, like original 90s founders of death metal type thing. And then for us, it was even better because my wife, like being amazing, splurged and bought us the VIP tickets. So we got to hang out in the band area behind the stages the whole time. And we met like a bunch of people from bands, which was super cool.
We were hanging out with the vocalist from Enforced and Imprecation. And we're just like, didn't know who it was really at first, and then we're just like, holy shit, wait, where'd those guys go? Oh fuck, they're on stage. God damn. We had
a brief chat with the dude from the vocalist from Monstrosity.
Nice.
And then who's the other band the one that we gave the stickers to that already followed us? We were like, that holy shit.
Drawn and Quartered.
Yeah, Drawn and Quartered. We were talking to the vocalist from Drawn and Quartered, and he's like, yeah, I follow you guys on Facebook. And I was like, oh, holy shit.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome, man.
That was pretty cool. Yeah, that was sweet. And then like just meeting people there were so many cool like characters and stuff. It was a good time. It was a very good time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then we really liked Baltimore. I think Baltimore gets a really fucking bad rap, but I really like Baltimore. It was a good time. I
it was. City. There's some like good food. We went to this cafe for breakfast, like right where we were staying, and I think it was like basically the same girl working every single day. And then we also ran into her at the festival. Like, yeah, man, it was cool. Like awesome little spot.
Yeah, and then like we had fun like outside of the shows and stuff, like even walking home wasted kind of thing from the concert every day. Like we were just going around town slapping stickers on signposts and cars and stuff. Like CDM stickers, putting them in public bathrooms.
Yeah. You always gotta put it inside of the men's urinal so nobody takes it off.
I did that.
So we were just a barbecue place, and it was like completely clean. We were the first one to slap it in there. But no, if you ever get a chance to go, if they do another one, I highly recommend it. Funny there's just a couple of like the big events that happened that are worth talking about. They're hilarious. So there was a public sex act where a dude ate a chick out in the middle of the pit while everyone filmed and cheered them on. It was during the autopsy set, and then like Hypocrisy came on, and they're like, "You guys are fucking animals." It's like, it was like, "What's wrong with you people?" It made the news. And then like what else? There was almost a riot, so like it rained out right before Obituary was meant to go on, and they changed venues from like the main festival area to this little side venue, and there wasn't enough space, and like people just couldn't get in, and for some reason they put these barricades up and blocked it off, even though like there was still a ton of space there, and like the whole crowd just tore it down and like streamed over it, which is kind of funny to see, and forced their way in. And then the dude from Mortician, the vocalist from Mortician, was apparently banned from every venue in town, like at the festival, just for like getting into fist fights with everyone.
Man.
But I mean, that's not surprising. The dude's like a wild card. Do you guys remember how like he carjacked a taxi in Germany?
What?
Yeah. Have you heard that story?
No,
I guess he didn't make the show.
He like held the taxi driver at knife point, stole his cab, and then tried to drive it out of the country and got arrested.
Oh, fuck, dude.
Yeah, so he's a wild card. There's this really funny video of like this massive bouncer just stopping him from coming in using one finger, because he's like a little dude, and he's like holding him back with one finger, and the dude keeps slapping his hand. I'll send it to you. It's pretty funny. But they actually opened the festival for us, Mortician, but they were the first band we saw the first night, and they went pretty hard. I mean, those guys are like, it's Mortician. They're their own thing.
Yeah. My favorite band was Birdflesh. That was so much fun to see.
Oh yeah, Birdflesh, like musically not the best band, but energy wise, like absolutely best band of the festival. It was in this like little dingy venue that wasn't the main stage, and they actually have like a hype man. His only job is to get the audience hyped and put props in the audience and stuff. And he was just like throwing fistfuls of glow sticks at the audience, and like blow up sex dolls, blow them up and throwing them in and stuff, and
pool toys.
And then like people were throwing trash cans, and like there was like 6 people crowd surfing at once and stuff. It was he had like confetti cannons. It was wild. It absolutely went off.
Dude, I remember like my old touring band for 2016. Like we played with some hardcore bands, and like these motherfuckers are throwing fucking trash cans, and like they'd be full of shit, and like there's just trash everywhere, and like they'd get fucking chewed out by the people. It was fucking bad.
Yeah. these ones were empty. They were thrown around, but it was freaking hilarious.
God almighty.
And then like the other cool thing was like everywhere you went in the city for like during the day or around nighttime around the festival and stuff, there was just everywhere. It was just people in metal shirts. Like we were like drinking at a bar the day before we started going to the festival, and people were, it's like everywhere, like metalhead people, like, you going to the festival, bro, and just start talking to random strangers and stuff. So yeah, it was a cool vibe. I definitely
That's
recommend
cool.
it. Yeah, I really hope they do another one. They said it might be the last one, but if that's true, that's super disappointing because
they've said maybe come back for like 23 possible or 24 or whatever. Like, yeah,
because if they keep doing that,
the last one.
They just said like
because the people acting crazy. Yeah.
No, not that. It was before they announced that before the people. Yeah, it just the logistics of it is a nightmare. They said with COVID and stuff, it's just like they had so many headlining acts pull out. That I mean, they did an amazing job of filling those slots, like amazing. Like because Morbid Angel was one of the headlining acts, they pulled out, and then Dismember was the headlining act, they pulled out. Bloodbath is a headliner, they pulled out, and like Bloodbath and Dismember pulled out like 13 days before the friggin' event.
God damn.
And they managed to book them in with who did they go with? It was they got Autopsy and Immolation and Demolition Hammer in like such short notice to fill in for them. I was like, dude, that's incredible. Like, you guys killed it. Like, those are some big name draw card bands to pull out of your hat that close to a venue. You know what I mean? Like, I was very impressed.
I'm sure they paid a fee for that.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Sure,
but I honestly, like,
for that one.
Definitely. I honestly would rather see Autopsy than Dismember anyway. I love Autopsy, so I was pretty happy with that.
Awesome, dude.
I was disappointed not seeing Bloodbath because they're a bucket list band for me. I love Bloodbath. You know, it is what it is. I wasn't disappointed seeing Demolition Hammer. Those guys are sweet as well, but still want to see Bloodbath.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, highly recommend.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, before we wrap up, any upcoming announcements that you want to sort of like, any upcoming albums you want to kind of lay out? So like, I know we have Psionic Madness. The next one of those is coming soon.
Yep.
Do you know sort of roughly when that's going to be dropping?
Possibly October.
Awesome. And then any other ones in the works people should be aware of?
I'm keeping it a secret.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
But Imperithron's coming out in August. And then, you know, Psionic's coming October. Possibly
awesome.
Possibly a new Magic's Ground December.
Sweet. Oh, and do you want to mention very briefly your compilation album, The Sampler?
Yeah, Pathways of Damnation 2. Last one I did was in 2019, and brought this one back. First one was 10 tracks. This one's 20.
Nice.
I was able to get some fucking death metal legends on here, like Atrocious Abnormality. That's Steve from Comatose Music. Coat Hanger Abortion, another big band.
Yeah, nice.
And bunch of awesome other little bands on here. Some people were saying oh, this is just a list of Justin and Jared. And I was like, yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it is. But no, it's streaming everywhere. Spotify, all that good stuff.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on. It's been absolutely awesome finally getting to talk properly with you. We're going to have to get you, I mean, if we can make it happen, get you, Nick and Jared on together, because that would be sweet.
That would be fun.
That'd be crazy.
All right. Well, everyone, thank you for listening, and we'll have another guest for you guys shortly. Have a good one.
Cheers.
Okay.